All right. Dave mentioned it. Colt board material. This is the Shaquille O'Neal. I owe you an apology. I wasn't really familiar with your game award. Some history behind this award. Very, very historic award here. This Shaquille O'Neal reference goes to I don't even remember what year it was. But he was talking to Christian Wood in a post game, NBA center, and he just laid it out flat to Christian Wood like that. He's like, "I'll be honest, I wasn't familiar with your game," and Christian Wood's response was, "Oh, you're a casual." Basically what he said to Shaq. But the description for this award. It's going to the non-rookie/sophomore NHLer whose performance shockingly impressed you this season. Who would like to kick off the Shaquille O'Neal award?
Dave, why don't you start us off here?
Yeah, for sure. So I put down a short list of 4 names, but the name that I'm going to pick, I was kind of trying to go for teams that surprised me the most. And I think there's been no better surprise this year than the Columbus Blue Jackets. And one player on that team in particular, like they have a whole host of just fantastic talents on that team. But one player who, I don't know if he goes under the radar sometimes, but he's kind of turning himself into an elite scorer, or I would say an elite sniper. Kirill Marchenko. This year he's got 31 goals, 70 points. That breaks all his career highs that were set last year. He's still only 24 years old, which is crazy to think about because the guy looks like he's about 36. Those are just maybe the Russian genes that he's got. He's also played quite a bit overseas in Russia first, so maybe that's why he's just like a hardened veteran. But, 31 goals this year. He's leading one of the surprises of the season. And for me, I don't know if he really gets talked about as much as some other people maybe on his team, and for good reason. Like you've got guys like Zach Werenski on that team who, like honestly, for a second there, I thought could have won the Norris.
Dave over here. I'm gonna jump the line on you here because guess who my pick was for this award?
Who do you got?
Marchenko. I did have Marchenko too. Dave,
am I
continue.
You got it.
Oh no. Yeah, no, I was starting to ramble and I guess I cut out there, so.
No, it's all good, man.
I guess my computer told me where to go.
Yeah, Christian, you said you had the exact same pick.
Dave, if you missed it, I did also have Kirill Marchenko as my pick here. I'm going to hit us with some stats because I think you lined it up pretty well just in terms of the abstract, but some numbers to back it up too. Even strength goals on the year, Kirill Marchenko is tied for 5th. With 29, ties him with some guy named Alex Ovechkin. Maybe you've heard of him. I don't think we talked about him yet. But here's another thing about him. Like you describe like what type of player he is, Dave, and like the numbers from the 2 years he played prior to this. 59 games played in his rookie season. He had 21 goals, 25 points. Last year, 78 games played, 23 goals, 42 points. This year, 31 goals, 70 points in 71 games. So he's essentially a point per game player. I think what's surprising about a guy that you think of just like your stereotypical sniper is that he's actually pretty good on both sides of the puck. Even if you just say he's average, I think you're already putting him into like a star category when you can score at this type of rate. But we're talking here about even strength goal differential. And I'm trying to pull it up here. I think he's like top. Let me see where I've got him right here. He's 15th in the NHL. He's a plus 31 when he's on the ice at even strength for his team.
That's huge.
And I think if you look at, I'm going to give you guys like just not even the names. I'm going to give you the teams that the guys play for ahead of him. I'm going to rattle them off really quickly here. Dallas, Colorado, Tampa, Washington, Colorado, Edmonton, Washington, Colorado, Tampa, Vegas, Tampa, LA, Colorado. Kirill Marchenko 15th for Columbus. I think every single team I named ahead there, maybe except for LA, whose Warren Fogle is at 13th in the league. But Kirill Marchenko is playing for a team that's in the middle of an absolute crazy wild card race, and he's been that important to his team. And while Zach Werenski is definitely the most valuable player to the Columbus Blue Jackets, I think you can make a really good argument for Kirill Marchenko as the second most important player on that team.
Okay, you guys make good arguments. You guys realize both of you have picked the same person for the first 2 awards, and I've decided to zag.
Oh,
it just happens to be that way.
Oh, we did.
Well, you got Elliot Friedman, yeah, and then you got Marchenko. But that's fine. I mean, those are really good arguments for Marchenko, and I feel like he'll be our winner here simply because two of you guys picked him, and you make good points. But I'll go back to a team we already talked about because of Alexander Ovechkin, and this guy I think just got a little bit more love and probably would have gotten a little bit more had Ovechkin not kind of come to the surface as he has this season. We talked about him last pod, Alexei Protas. I think when we first looked at this award, it was even the thought of like, what's the most improved player too? And now we kind of look at it just like, it's very similar. Like, where's this guy come from? And I was not familiar that you had this in your bag. Protas has come essentially out of nowhere. So before the season, he scored 13 goals in 169 games before coming into the season. He's got 30 goals this year, 27 even strength goals, which ties him for 7th. And it's more than every single player. I don't have the actual poll here, the actual team, but The Athletic put out a top 25 under 25 list. And he has more even strength goals than every other player on that list, except Kirill Marchenko. So he is clearly above and beyond a lot of these players under 25 in that category specifically. He's tied on second on his team in points. And obviously Ovechkin's up there. Dylan Strome is up there. They are kind of the names that you think of this year to kind of push the Capitals into that stratosphere. But the depth scoring, even though a guy with 30 goals, you really consider him depth? I don't know. He played in every single game as well this season. So his season high in the past was 78 last year. He can obviously break his point total if he continues to stay healthy and continue to kind of hit that level that he's hit in terms of like the stability. And I think when you look at players like this, in order to stay underrated or maybe like you're not familiar with their game, you have to kind of stay healthy and stay consistent. And if you look at him, he's a huge body. If you look at his hockey DB page, he honestly looks like the most. He's Belarusian, but he looks so Belarusian.
So
like
European,
he just
Eastern European to
oh
to
my
the
god,
T.
like literally he woke up and was like, I hate it. Basically, like he drove to Service Ontario in the middle of a snowstorm every day to get to Capitals practice. So I think he'll end up staying in the lineup regardless of if the Capitals, obviously they've clinched, they're fine. I still think they'll keep him in here because, just he's a steady presence, I think, to keep him hot. I don't necessarily think he beats out Marchenko based on the numbers here in terms of winning the award, but he's really impressed me this season on a team that already has these superstars. If we're still saying his name, I think he's done something right.
I don't think you can go wrong with Protas at all. I'm pulling up, like you mentioned, like some of his stats before this year.
Yeah.
He's actually got more points this year than if you combine the past 3 seasons
it's crazy.
he had in the NHL, right? It's 29, 15, and 9. Super quick math there, 44. It's like 50-something, okay? Doesn't matter what specifically, but he's at 66. So it took him 1 season to double his, more than double his career NHL total. So you cannot go wrong with Alexei Protas. The guy is a monster.
No. Just a quick note on Protas, though. I haven't seen any updates, but he did leave yesterday's game. I think you said looks like a Achilles.
Did you guys catch the actual play?
I caught like a bit of the end. Like then I saw the replay. Yeah. I was like, yeah, I don't know. He did kind of limp off there.
He does. It's like skate on skate contact at first, but it doesn't look like there's anything that could have like grazed his ankle or whatever from someone else's skate. So that happens, and he's right at the front of the Chicago net. He's just kind of slowly backing up, and then he reaches for his ankle. And like to me, I just immediately thought like Achilles type of injury. Like we saw Max Pacioretty with 2 of those in the past 2 years, and it's just a pop that you get. Like I've had like I wake up in the morning and like you move your ankle the wrong way and you almost get like the half pop and it's like, oh, that didn't feel good. And he looked like he maybe got it for real. I really hope not. Yeah, like we're saying, he's been really damn good. And for the Capitals' sake, in the playoffs, like the season does not end when Ovechkin breaks the record. They need him big time.
Big time. But I do think, like we were saying, Marchenko should win that award. He's dominant. And I think even in my my praise for Protas, it's still Marchenko who ends up getting the best of him. So I think that's fair unless you guys disagree. But I think he probably should get the award for this one, eh?
I'm fine with that.
Protas is on my short list. He's literally like I flip-flopped 1 and 2. We talked about him last week. He's 100% there. I'd be fine voting either guy. We can go to Marchenko just because the numbers.
Yeah, just
I
to
like it.
defer.
I
Yeah,
like
no,
it.
100%. He is. Yeah, I have Protash on my short list as well.
Nice. Good stuff, guys.